Katie Erst is actually the host now. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right. I'm out.
We got
You
it.
guys have fun.
Oh man. Hey guys. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Monday because it has been one of those days. Let me just pull up my slides here real quick. I need you guys to tell me if you can see this.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Are we good there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So my name is Deidra Mangus, and I am one of Melanie's personally sponsored coaches. I've been in the business for 5 years, so this is, I'm like an old dog here. And then I have Sarah Griffith and Megan Blinka, who are my coaches, who are Star Diamonds, and Megan is an elite coach. And Sarah and Megan they started the same month. They've been in the business, how long, 4 years? Has it been 4 years? I think so. But anyways, they are pretty amazing and they're really good with Instagram. So we teamed up and we decided to go ahead and give you guys a power hour on Instagram and IG stories because guys, it is like the new Facebook and Snapchat. Instagram is the new Facebook and IG stories is the new Snapchat. People used to be all over Facebook and it's like a lot of people don't even use Facebook anymore. It's kind of like an old thing. So it's really important for us to be able to do all the new stuff and be willing to change to grow our business because social media is exactly how we grow. So I just want to give you guys the lowdown. Megan and Sarah are going to give you guys more of the activities and actions that you should do. And I'm just going to go over a few things that I think is really important for you guys to make sure you are doing and that you have on your Instagram and IG stories so you can be successful and you can reach your target market and get people coming to you instead of having to invite those personal messages every day. I hate inviting. So this is one of the great things that we have now that can, I don't want to say take away the inviting, but again, have more people coming to you rather than you always have to reaching out. Okay. So I'm going to go back and forth with Instagram and Instagram stories a little bit. But one of the first things that you want to do when you're looking at your Instagram, the description is key. What that's going to do is whatever you have in that description, that's the first thing that people are going to come over to your Instagram and they're going to look at to see whether they should follow you or not. Those things are going to be the top qualities about you, but also what you're looking for. Because let's face it, we're all targeting other people using our avatar. So if you look at mine, it says 3 boys, 3 bonus kids, military wife, retired nurse at 29, fitness coach, Jesus follower, loves yoga. Those are the things that if you go to my Instagram and actually look at my pictures, you're going to see every single one of those. If you go to my Instagram stories, you're going to see all of those, but more in detail. Okay. And then I want to make sure you guys have that. Please don't feel the need to put you're a Beachbody coach. If you're going to put something, health and wellness coach, fitness coach, I think Sarah and Megan both use something different, but on the lines of that, without having to throw Beachbody out there, when we name ourselves, it's really salesy. Okay. It's not like we're trying to hide anything, but when people get to know you first and see and follow your journey, it makes them more willing to come to you when you already have that relationship built rather than saying, hey, I sell a product, if that makes sense. And then you're going to see I have a little arrow to a link, and it's for Linktree. I have heard about this for so long, and I never put it on my Instagram until I was getting this training ready. That's so embarrassing, but I'm just going to be honest with you guys. But I should have done it a long time ago. This is like a gold mine for us. So before I had my link as my blog. So the only thing that I could link my Instagram to right there was my blog. So people could go to that. But what Linktree does, if you go to the website, it gives you the ability to put every link that you want to. So when people click that Linktree, if you can see, I have a little image of what it looks like when you go onto Linktree. you put in your Instagram information, your name and your Instagram name, and then it'll say add website and then the name of it, add website. So all of those links, I have my personal link, so I still have my blog on there. I have my Facebook fitness page. I have join my team. It's a Woofu application to join as a coach. And then start your fitness journey. I have a link to my challenge group from Woofu. So that kind of makes it like everything that they need is right there. All of my links. So there's no like beating around the bush, but that's just a great way to throw all of your links together so people can pick and choose what they want to do. Okay. All right, so next, your Instagram is going to be your main images where you're gonna share your top high quality pictures and videos and gain interest and traction, okay? Then what Instagram stories is it's gonna be, like I said, more of the details of your life. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but it's called vlogging. Not blogging, but vlogging. So I was actually reading my personal development book and it was in there and I'm like, they had an error in their book. Are you serious? And my husband was like, no, it's actually something. It's called vlogging. So it's kind of like video blogging. And guys, this is amazing for Instagram stories. You are capturing all of the background stuff of what your pictures are on your Instagram. So you can have an awesome picture of your workout on your Instagram, but then when you go to your stories, you can show like some of the moves that you're doing, and then you can do a video of how hard it is and like what you're actually doing and talk about your journey. Okay, so it's pretty cool that you're able to do that. So when I go to my Instagram stories, you're going to see me with my kids, the background of me and my kids. They're going to be talking, they're going to be playing, we're dancing, we're doing whatever. My husband and I in action talking. No, that was really bad how that sounded. I'm sorry. My husband and I talking like more about, our relationship or whatever we're doing, our workouts, our food. And then my workouts, I'm sharing exactly what I'm doing. And then my postpartum journey also. Okay, so use your IG stories for all that background stuff that would be too messy to put on your regular Instagram page. Okay, so our social media, now I have our 4 vital behaviors up. Our social media is not just about sharing our Beachbody journey, but if you are using it to grow your business, you should be putting your four vital behaviors on your Instagram and stories. This is a must. So these are just some examples that I put on my Instagram stories. Actually, one of them is on my Instagram page too. Hold on. Let me go back here. Okay, so the first one, personal development. We should be doing it every day. And that's just an example of, I did a little IG stories and I highlighted, put a heart around it with stars because that part of that book was like really important to me. And I know a ton of other people would be able to relate who struggle with confidence or feeling successful. Proof of the product works. I am sharing my workouts. I am sharing my nutrition and what I'm doing with my meal prep. And then recognition and inviting. I actually put those together, which you could do them separately, but I'm inviting people to join my challenge group. Right now, I just started 80-day obsession, but I've been talking about it for quite a long time. So you best believe that almost every day, if not every day, I am doing a join me, swipe up for more details, doing a poll of who wants to join me, never putting no as an option. And then the recognition is I'm shouting out my coaches and challengers every step of the way with their journey. So tonight I did a challenger success with one of my girls who is doing 80-day obsession, and she is a busy mom and she has lost a ton in just 20 days. So I wanted to share because my target is other moms. She's a newer mom. And she works long hours like I did, swing shifts. She's in the medical field. So I wanted to shout her out because she's doing an amazing job. And I want other moms to see that it's possible. When you do that, that's just kind of overcoming objections along the way of I don't have enough time. to do it. All right, let's see here. Curiosity marketing. So I love to keep people guessing with what is going to come and what I'm going to share, because that leaves them coming back to me for more. If you're giving away everything that you're doing, there's really no need to come back. There's really no need to ask questions. So if you leave them guessing, it's going to be more of a chance that they are going to come to you and ask questions, and you can start that conversation and start building that relationship. So just for an example, sharing parts of a book without giving away the title. I did actually do that the other day, but usually when I do my daily devotions, I don't post exactly what it is, but I will, again, highlight parts, circle parts, heart parts. And then I have had so many conversations start by people asking me, what is that devotion that you're reading? So number one, I'm hitting my target market. Number two, I'm getting them to come to me and ask questions and start a conversation, and then we can talk about how much we have in common. And then I just want to share some do's and don'ts with curiosity marketing. So first, let's start with the do's. Do share your journey. This is your business. I know people get afraid because you don't want to be annoying, but guys, this is your business. And if you're not sharing it, it's selfish of you. You want to be sharing every step of the way, and be okay sharing all of your workouts, your food pictures, your health shake. Leave out Shakeology. It's a health shake, superfood shake, whatever else you want to call it. And then be consistent with what you're posting about. So I say pick 4 to 5 topics and stick with it. That way you're getting your avatar and your target market. You know, for me, I'm not going to post beach pictures because number one, I don't live at the beach and I'm not there. And number two, that's not who I'm targeting, because that's not me. So pick 4 to 5 things and stick with it. Have a call to action. If you don't have a call to action, no one's going to know that there's a possibility that they can do it. So if you consistently talk about your challenge group, joining your challenge group, the coaching opportunity, joining your team, that's going to give more people, once they see it repetitive over and over again, that means that they're going to see it in their head, and it's going to keep having them question themselves. Maybe this is something I should do. But if they only do it once, it's not going to get back in their head. You want this to keep getting back in their head. The more it does, the more of a chance they're going to come back to you. Some do nots is post product names. Please don't take pictures of your bag of Shakeology, because we don't do that anymore. Do not hold up your T25 or Insanity workout. We don't even use those anymore. We have on demand, but don't hold up a picture and say what you're doing. That's why we now do pictures of our workouts and videos and post workout selfies. Okay. Do not post the dollar amount or direct link to your Beachbody website. Please, 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 because then you're completely taking away the ability to talk to them directly or to build that relationship. You're just like, hey, I'm selling this. Go ahead and find it on my website. And guys, if you do that and they already have a coach, it's not going to go to you anyways. Okay. Another do not, and I'm sorry if you guys do this, but please stop. Don't do the animal filters, because it's not, I mean, it may be cute for like 1 or 2 pictures, but it's really not. It's played out. It's way played out, and it's not going to attract people to you because you're fitting in with every average person. You want to stick out with your pictures. Take away the animal filters. You don't need doggy ears when you're doing a post about coaching or your workouts. And then do not talk too much. If you're doing a video, and I've made this mistake and I'm learning from my mistakes, and that's what I love about this business is I'm failing forward, is when you're doing videos, try to stick to like 3 15-second videos. If you do too much, people are just going to skip right through it. Okay. And then let's talk real quick, quality versus quantity. Again, a lot of people think, well, I don't want to post about my Energize too much, or if I post every morning that I'm doing this workout at 6 a.m. on my stories, people are going to stop looking at it, or on Facebook or on Instagram. Guys, repetition is okay with that, because it's showing what you are doing. It's showing that you are living the lifestyle that you are trying to preach to other people to join you. So do not feel bad about every morning doing your workout picture. You'll see Melanie doing it. You'll see Sarah doing it. You'll see Megan doing it. I do not do them every morning because I'm just starting and I kind of do them in the mid-morning afternoon. So it's okay to post that same thing as long as you switch up the pictures and don't take the same image, the same view. Try to switch them up a little bit to get creative so it's actually eye-catching and it's not like, oh, I've seen this already. And then, whenever we're doing our post, I know people think, well, I need to do 3 to 5 posts every single day. But guys, you probably heard this before. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all. So if you don't have anything good to post, don't post it at all. You have to think if that post that you are posting is going to benefit someone, if it's going to entertain someone or benefit them in some way. If it's not going to, it's not worth posting. So make sure that when you're posting that it actually means something. I used to post just a quote and I wouldn't have anything else in the post. It doesn't really do anything for everyone. So if you're going to do a quote, talk about how that quote is affecting your life or talk about how it can help somebody else. When you're looking at your images, make sure they're clear. We don't need blurry images. Clear your lens. So many times my posts and pictures are like not as clear as I want them to be. And then I realize that the brightness is down or my lens is dirty. Make sure it's clear because if it's not clear, it's not eye-catching. All right. And with your images, consistency with your filters is key. I actually learned this from a training that I'm doing right now with Cody Jefferson, and he really focuses on Instagram. But if you go to your Instagram and it's like one's black and white, one's like a rainbow filter, one's a different filter, it's not as eye-catching and people won't click on them and look at them. You want to have consistency with your filters. I know Megan uses her Snapseed and she does the drama filter, I think. I actually started using my phone filters and I use the dramatic one. And I keep that consistent with every picture I put on Instagram, okay? Again, you want that consistency all the way around with your pictures. So people will look at it and say, well, that's professional and that looks good. And then the last one is rambling is a no-go. I know people want to explain every detail, but sometimes not everyone wants to hear every detail. Kind of like when you are talking about Shakeology, people don't really need to know every single ingredient in there and what it does unless they're like crazy. And yeah, not everyone needs to know it. They want to know more of just how it's changing you, how it's benefited you. So try not to ramble too much. All right, I don't know how much time I took, but I'm trying to hurry up so I can let Sarah talk. Oh, wait, nope, I have one more slide, guys. Sorry. All right, don't talk yet, Sarah. And then I want to talk real quick on the then and now because Instagram is changing. It's always changing, and you want to be sure you are always catching up on what is going on with Instagram because if you're keeping with the old stuff and you're not getting a ton of feedback, no one's going to see it at the top of their news feed. So you want to make sure that you keep up to date with it. So I just took a screenshot of my then. I don't even know how long ago it was. It was at least 3 years ago. If you notice, I had a lot of wording on my pictures. I had regular quotes that weren't me. I had collages. I had wording on every single picture. And then I had one that was really salesy at the bottom, earn your cash for Christmas, with a weird little joy thing at it. And I was getting some likes, but that's because it was cool back then to add the words. But if you look at my Instagram right now in the bottom, my filters are all the same. I'm consistent with my posts. I do a little variety of everything. And guys, there's really not any words on it unless it's a quote. And then I have my link at the very bottom, real little. So it's just clean and clear. Okay. I think that was all. Okay, Sarah, I'm going to let you go. Do you want me to exit this and you go, or am I okay to keep this?
Go ahead and exit it. Can you see my screen right now?
I can, yes.
Okay, I'm going to put it into present mode. Let's see. I can't see you guys then when I have it in present. So
You're good. It's there.
Okay, perfect. So hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here tonight. And I have to tell you, it's kind of funny that the three of us are on a call together. I'm like, who is allowing this? Like, Melanie must have been out of her mind to allow the three of us to be on a call together. Because we really, we have a lot of information to share, but we also love to have fun. So we're just excited to be here together. What I wanted to talk to you about first was just this excitement of Instagram stories. And I think what's going to start to happen is you're all going to start watching one another because we want to see what everybody else is doing and we want to get inspired. And I'm going to say that's awesome. And I would love for you to come and join me and watch my story, but I only want you to watch for a week or so. And then I want you to stop following me. I don't want you to follow me. I don't want you to watch my stories. I just want you to put your head down, put your blinders in your own tunnel and run your race. Because what's going to happen is you're going to try to be like Deidra, and you're going to try to be like Megan and Melanie or me or whoever else you're watching. And all of a sudden, you're going to feel less authentic, and you're going to feel like, wow, like I just don't have anything to share, or I don't look as good as her when she's working out. So that's not what I want to happen. I want you to decide that I'm going to pick a couple leaders who fit my style. Like there's going to be some of us who we are not your person. And you might watch our story and you're like, she's not my person. Stop following that coach. But I do want you to watch for just a tiny bit. But then I want you to break away from the stories and say, I got to do my own thing. I had a very serious conversation with one of my coaches the other day, and she was telling me all about the coaches that she was following and what they were doing. And I stopped her and I said, that's the problem. You're following all these other coaches that you forgot who your brand is. So I want you to just run your own race, put your head down. But I do want to connect with you. I do want you to watch, come and see what I'm doing for a little bit. Come see what Megan's doing. Come see what Deidra's doing. All of us. We want you to see how much fun we're having over on IG stories. It's not perfect. It's the unfiltered version of our life. And quite honestly, the pressure's off over there. So I'm enjoying it. So there's my Instagram handle. It's just at Sarah Elizabeth 27.
I'm going to stop you real quick just because you're not in presentation mode.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Let me put it back.
It'll be bigger for people to see.
Yep. Okay. So sorry about that. So anyways, that's my Instagram username. I wish that I could change it, but I can't simply because Sarah Griffith was already taken. If you are new to Instagram right now and you're just setting up your account, I'm going to tell you, don't make your name anything about Beachbody or about the product. Just try to get your first and last name if you can. I also would encourage you, if you haven't already done so, I posted about it in the Dream Team page on Sunday, but on my YouTube channel, I do have a series of Instagram training videos. There's about 5 or 6 of them over there. You're welcome to subscribe to the channel on YouTube and watch them. I'm a former business teacher. I used to teach high school business education, and one of my topics that I taught was social media marketing. So I have a lot of fun making these videos and training you guys. So I just want you to know that the resources are out there. They're free. Go look at them, share them with your team, and hopefully it can help you, especially if you're brand new to Instagram. I feel like those trainings would really be something worth looking at. So tonight our topic was Power Hour, and some of you are sitting here thinking, I've mastered my Facebook Power Hour, but how in the world do I master an Instagram Power Hour? Some of you have probably gotten on Instagram to start a Power Hour, and you found yourself in that hole where you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing right now because I just got so sucked into this filter. You need to sit down with the same intention for an Instagram Power Hour as you would have with your Facebook. I always write myself a to-do list ahead of time. You can't see it on here, but I always write down a to-do list of what I need to accomplish. And I start by putting out my vibe to the universe. So before I do anything, I go and I look at who has commented and interacted on my own photos. Those people I want to go to and comment back and just get the conversations moving. From there, I may go and I may search a hashtag that I loved, or a brand that's relevant to me, or a topic that's relevant to me. From that hashtag, I'll go find a few people to follow. Now, I will be honest with you and say that at this point in the game, I'm not getting followers for myself. I have somebody who is helping me with that. But when I was new to Instagram and I was growing my own account, I was doing the dirty work. I was going and searching hashtags. hashtags and commenting and trying to do the relationship building on my own. And it built me a very wonderful start. I got to around 4,000 some followers on my own. I have since enlisted in a little bit of help. But whenever you are sitting down to do your power hour, like I said, you need to have intention. You need to, make the most of this hour. You don't want to spend a lot of time on your phone, and particularly on just searching. So what I do is I'm actually going to take this off of full screen for a second because I wanted to show you something that I have and that I use. So I use an app called Grids. It's something that I've downloaded to my Mac desktop. And if you have a Mac, you can get this for free. I upgraded to the paid version. So Grids allows me to work my Instagram account from my computer. I am 1,000 times more productive when I'm sending my messages and doing my power hour from my computer. Grids allows you to do, like I said, I can do the messaging right here. I can see who's commenting, interacting. I can even add to my story. So Megan's going to show you some things later, probably with adding images. I can make images on Canva and make them beautiful looking, and I just upload them right to my story from my computer. So you can put images to your story if you're making them or editing them. You can do it from here. So if you don't have Grids already, I'm going to strongly encourage you to go out and get that. If you don't have a PC or a Mac, I'm sorry, because it's a big time powerhouse. Let me just get this back in present mode. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you regarding Grids. It's just a pretty cool app. Now, what I want to talk about is called giving attention to the attention that you already have. So if you have been using IG stories, you all know that you can swipe up. When you swipe up on your IG stories, it's going to show you who's been watching your stories. And this number will grow the longer you do them and the more consistent you are. I will tell you that when I started doing stories, and I was relatively new to them, I started doing stories in September, I was averaging about 40 to 50 people watching the story. And now I'm getting close to, by the time I get close to that 24-hour window, I'm usually around 800 to 900 viewers, depending on the day or what I have going on. I'm proud of that number, but I realize that some of you are, when you're swiping up, you're seeing that there's 20 eyes on you or there's 15 eyes on you. I don't want you to get discouraged. I want you to say, wow, this is really exciting. This is 15 people who really care what I'm doing right now and who are truly interested in what I'm up to. These are the eyes that are already on you. They are subscribing to your reality TV show. They're coming back. And if you're creating content that's worthy of them looking at, they're going to come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And down the road, when you send them an invitation to join you, they're not going to think you're crazy, and they're not going to be offended by the message because they think that you're friends. So these people right here, these are your most important numbers. I don't care how many followers you have. I don't care how many comments you have on your pictures. I don't care how many likes you have on your pictures. I care more, and you should care more about how many people are watching your story. Those are the people who actually do want to work with you. So I like to call them my lifers. So I like to do, we used to call them Hey Girls on Facebook. Now on Instagram stories, to me, they're kind of my Hey Girl, I see you messages. And as I said, these are the people who you want to be talking to. Now, I will tell you this, I have my husband help me, because what was happening was I was sitting there and I was sending all these messages. I was sending 20 to 30 of them a day and sometimes more. And I was like, this is so tedious. Like, this is a job that an assistant should be doing or somebody else. But it was taking time away from my evenings with him. So I said, honey, I see you on Snapchat, or I see you watching the news right now, and you're just on your phone, and I'm over here hustling hard for our family. So guess what? You're going to step up to the plate. So I downloaded Instagram to his phone. He is actually not on Instagram. And I uploaded my account to his phone. And I said, you've got a job. While you watch the news, you're going to message these 20 to 30 people. And we're going to do this together. Because this, even though I'm the face of the business, this is our family business. And so every night I sit and I'll be working on my laptop, whether it's checking into challenge groups or doing something or whatever. And he's kind of parallel. He's over on the couch usually. And he's on my phone. And I have him I have him go to my oldest story, because that's the one that's going to have the most people. So he goes to my oldest story, swipes up, and he looks to see who have we not spoken to yet. And then he'll go to their page, quickly, he's kind of got it figured out. He will look to see, are they a Beachbody coach? So all of you who maybe just started following me tonight, you're going to really throw him off later when he goes to do his Hey Girls. But anyways, you're going to, he looks to see, are they a coach? If they are, we don't bother with a conversation. We just let it go. Same with if it's someone from another MLM. If it seems like it's just a regular person who we want following my account, we will shoot them a message. But before he sends the message, I have him like 3 of the pictures and comment on 1 or 2. Sometimes I don't have him comment if we're busy. Like if it's really late at night, I'll just have him like 3 and then send that message that I'm sending. I'm going to give you guys that content in a minute here. But for those of you who are struggling with this business, where you may have a significant other who's saying, you're always on your phone, or you're always working when the kids go to bed, I miss our time together. This is your opportunity to say, honey, let's make this a team effort. Come on, get on my train. I need your help. And wow, they just they feel so valued and they feel like they are helping you, which is exciting. I will tell you that I do not track these Hey Girl messages. That would be way too many. And I have to be careful because my things can get lost in my Instagram inbox if I'm not careful, simply because sending 30 messages a day gets tedious. So this is money. This is where all of you are like, okay, so what does she say, right? Or what does he say? You're probably laughing knowing that my husband's sending these messages. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to break this into 2 parts. The first part, I'm going to come back to the first part in a second, so ignore it. The bottom part says, thanks so much for the follow. I'm excited to get to know you a bit better. Be sure to check out my Insta stories. I share all of the actual unfiltered version of what life looks like over here. I'm willing to bet that we have some things in common right now. Anyways, stay in touch and enjoy your evening. This is what gets sent to new followers. Do I do this every day? No, I can't keep up at the rate of new followers that I'm getting. But if you are new to Instagram and you're getting followers, or you haven't ever talked to the followers that you have, this is a great message to send. There's nothing salesy about that message. There's nothing icky. There's no cold invite right there. I'm just simply saying, hey, it's nice to meet you. Come see what I'm doing on my stories, because my stories are going to sell. I don't want to say sell, they're going to share what I'm doing in itself. So I would encourage you to send a message like that to anybody who's new to your feed or new to your page or whatever. It's a great starting point. Most of them will write back and say like, oh, hey, it's nice to meet you too. And they think it's a little bit odd. But what I find is that they start watching the stories. And that's how I grew my viewers on my stories to, this higher number compared to the 40 or 50 that I started with. Now, you're going to look at my second message and you're going to say, ooh, that's a little bit of a cold invite. And that is a little bit forward. Like, that's the kind of message that people run from, right? Yes and no. And so it says, hey, girly, I see you watching my stories, and it has the eyeballs. Thanks so much for being a supporter. Is it because you have an interest in what I do with health and fitness, or what I do as a lifestyle coach? Let me know. I love to chat more. For every 10 of these that Kevin sends, I usually hear back from 4 to 5. Some of you are thinking, wow, that's a lot that ignore you. No, it's not. That's a great number. And guess what they say when they write back to that? They cut right to the chase. Yes, I've been following you. I have a baby too. I'm postpartum and you motivate me every day. Or, you know what? I want to join that 80-day challenge group that you've been doing. They are not messing around because they've been watching. Like, these are your, like I said, these are your lifers. So don't be afraid to ask them, like, what the hell are you following me for? Is it because you want to be in a challenge group? Is it because you want to be a coach? Or is it because you just, we're at the same stage of life? They will tell you. They will tell you yes. They will tell you no very quickly. But man, it is an easy way to start a conversation. And I'm not beating around the bush asking them about their weather or where they got their bib from for their baby. Like, I'm like, point blank, what are you here for? And they answer, and it's great. And last month, I hit a really high Success Club number simply because of this, because I was really consistent with asking them, what are you here for and how can I help you? So I would encourage you to use this message that I've been sending and do it. Do it yourself. Send that same message. Save it into the notes section on your phone. So now here comes the fun part. When they write you back and you're like, oh my gosh, my inbox has 15 messages in it. And you're so excited. Like, right? I still get excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, they want to talk to me. This is great. So now what? Here's the important piece. You need to capture their contact information. I just told you that things can really get lost in your IG inbox. Mine is super messy, just like probably your Facebook inbox is super messy. We want to capture their contact information. What if you lost your Instagram account tomorrow? What if you were locked out and you didn't have this platform anymore? would you just lose all your contacts? I hope not. I hope you're being smart about this. So if you don't already have an application, create one in Google or Woofu or whatever. Create an application that they can fill out. That puts them into, I use Google Forms, puts them into a spreadsheet. Now I've just collected their phone number, their email address, their Facebook name, whatever. I get all their contact information right there. And then from there, I move forward. I send them an email, or I say, hey, in the message, I either say, hey, fill out the application, or hey, can you shoot me an email? And I give them my email address. Now they're on my list, and now I can send them newsletters. I can follow up with them. They are in my pipeline now. Whereas if I'm just shooting all these messages out into the wind and I'm never paying attention or tracking it, the likelihood of closing that sale or signing that coach is slim to none. You've got to be intentional with this. So anyways, I'm going to stop right now. And before Megan starts, Megan, are we going to do this? Is that the plan? Or do we want to keep going for time? Do we want to have them send some messages? Yes. Okay. So we're going to ask you to stop. We're like taking a 5-minute breather here. And we are going to ask you to go onto your own Instagram stories or your Instagram, and we want you to send a very similar message to the one I talked about, whether it be thanking them for the follow or whether it be the, hey, I see you. We want you to send 10 to 15 messages right now, okay? All right, I'll check out the questions, but go ahead and get started. What I'll do actually is I'm gonna copy and paste this and put it into the chat bar. How's that sound? That way you guys have it too.
I just went ahead and shared too. I shared my like my response that I've been sending to people for 80-day obsession, just to give you like another example if it's something more specific to what somebody's doing. That's what I am using right now.
I'm doing mine right now.
All right, so hopefully you guys are copy pasting and sending like a machine. I know that this is something I can totally lose time in. So if you are doing a power hour and trying to stick to something, I do recommend that when you're sending these messages that you set a timer so you don't lose track. For the longest time, this was something I would do in the morning while I was drinking my Energize. Now I work out with my husband and there's like no room, no wiggle room in our morning. But when I would sit down, I would drink my Energize and I would sit and I'd send my 10 messages to the people who had been, you know, watching my stories from the night before. And I'll be honest, I can't tell you how many times I found myself like an hour later, energized, gone, no workout done, still sending messages and then having conversations with people. But this is where it's fun because people follow you on IG, not because they're your friend, but because they want to follow you. Because it's really like, you don't unfriend people on Facebook unless they do something really bad. But it's really easy to unfollow somebody on Instagram because like they just aren't your people. And I don't know, I feel like it's not like somebody unfollows me, I really don't take it personally. They just weren't my person. So it is different. It's totally different than how things were on Facebook. So hopefully you guys can embrace that and have fun with it. Because I really do have a lot of fun with Instagram. And I think the more fun you have, the more it's going to reflect in your business too. But if you go look at all these awesome stories that you're seeing on other people's timelines, I think it can be overwhelming because you're like, how'd they do that? Like, how did she get that to look like that? And why is it taking me a half an hour to put a story up when I click through these other ones and it seems so seamless? So I wanted to share some just tips and ideas and different things that I've done or I've found that work really well for me. So that hopefully it will help you guys too as you're, getting the hang of this whole story thing. Because it's definitely something that I've had to, fail forward on. And talk to other people on and figure out what are they doing that's working so well so that I can do it too. So if you've noticed on album covers, so if you look at my profile now, I have these little things that say mom life, client successes, lifestyle coaching, I think is what it says. But I remember being like, well, how did people get like those really cool covers? That's the highlights. So those are your album highlights. Those were added not too long ago. But you actually cannot add something to a highlight. You can't make a cover unless you first put it on your story. So actually, I shared a screenshot here to the right that I'll put it in presentation mode so you guys can see it bigger. I don't know how to do that. You guys made me use Google, and I don't know how to use Google Present. All right. Let's see if this is working. Nope. See, I need to go back. Okay. So you can see here, I did this when they rolled out the new font. So I was like, did you see the fun new fonts? And I just simply typed out mom life, my favorite things, client successes, lifestyle coaching, and a day in the life. So that's how I did mine. If you actually go look at Deidra's right now, she just added hers tonight. So you can see how she added like her album cover name. At least that's what I think she was doing. Added her album name and then added a picture right after that to kind of share some different things. But this is where you can really leverage this highlight. Like for one, people can quickly see who I am by looking at the stories. You don't have to lose things. So like, not long ago, we were all doing those sneak peeks into coaching through IG stories. Now, if you go to that lifestyle coaching highlight on my album cover, or the album highlight thing, you can see that entire story that I put up that was only there for 24 hours. It's now showing right there. So now when somebody comes to me and asks me about coaching, I don't have to add them to a private group that maybe happened 2 weeks ago. I can say, hey, go check out my lifestyle coaching highlight on my profile page. There'll be 4 places where you'll see a swipe up. You can listen to the videos. We'll set up a time to chat. It's so much easier and so much more efficient, and you're repurposing all that content. Obviously, the videos that they're swiping up are on my YouTube channel, so they're repurposed there. I use them in the sneak peek group when I held it on Facebook, but it really allows you to leverage that content. So I do want to pause there. I'm going to take a minute. Think about what you want on your highlight reel. Think about what are going to be those 5, 4, 3 things that you can add there. And honestly, I threw these up in like the middle of the day one day. Like they're random. They're going to be random on your profile for 24 hours. I encourage you just write it out and then it's gone, and then you can add them to your page. If you look at Sarah's page, hers are more uniform, I think her little album covers are more uniform. So like same font, same color, very pretty. Think about what yours would want to be. I use just the text that's in Insta Stories. You can open Word Swag and make yours in there, but do them. Like right now, take 3 minutes. What are 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you post in your stories that you can then go back and highlight? Maybe it's recipes. Like if you've got a lot of recipes, which I probably should do that, do a recipe one that every time you have a story where it swipes up for people to, it's like an awesome idea, like an 80-day obsession or portion fix recipe highlight, so that people can swipe up. Maybe it takes them to your blog, or it takes them I don't know, maybe a Facebook group where you share more about healthy recipes or meal planning or whatever it is. But take a minute and think about those, and I'll check out what's in the chat. Never mind, figured it out. Yes, and archiving. Erica talked about or asked about archiving. When I was making these slides, I pulled all of these images and screenshots from my archive. So if you're looking at the screen I'm on now on my home screen, that little timer in the top right corner, that's your archive. And you can go in there and see anything. Also, while I was doing this, I went back and was looking at old polls, because that's something I'm going to talk about in a minute. And I found like 3 people who responded to polls that I never messaged, and I like started conversations with them. Like, being able to access this stuff is golden. There is so much potential that you have here to create those conversations with other people. I think it's so fun. So hopefully you guys thought of some things that you can create. Whether you just, I would just encourage you to put them up on your story right now and just throw them in there, and then you have them and you can put them. But I think it just gives you another way for people to, when they quickly look at your Instagram page, are they going to follow you? What are you about? They can have those little highlights there. The other thing I want to talk to you is about layering. So when you're adding a picture, like you can click through, and it's like something adds, something adds, something adds. And, and you can see here where I had this one actually had a lot of text. I don't usually do this much text, but this one did. I actually summarized a Facebook post. And it was all these little sentences that are on this picture. It was a Facebook post that I repurposed into creating this one here. So but I think you can look at that and be like, well, how did you do that? And you can really get lost in time. Here's another one that shows the layering. So at the bottom here, I'll put it in the presentation mode just so you guys can see it. It's easier. But you can see in the bottom left corner is the final final product. And there was actually a poll on it, but there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images that I did here. So when I use these layering, what I actually do, because I've got to where I've wanted to do this, and then I get to the end and it doesn't fit. The text I want to write doesn't fit, or it doesn't look right, or I spelled something wrong and now I have to go back and delete the second picture and it looks awful, and it can waste your time. So if you want to do something where your people are going to click through your story and they kind of different things pop up to grab their attention, I actually create the entire thing first. So exclude the poll, because I've learned that if you add a poll and then save it down to your camera roll to then later upload, it's not going to be a poll for people to click on. So don't do that. But if you just look at the image number 5 right here, I added all of this stuff first, all of these little pop-ups, and you can do it however many times you want. But I made this image. I saved it to my camera roll. I deleted these bottom 4, and then I saved it to my camera roll to get this one. I deleted this black, ready to start your journey, and I got this one. I deleted the and sign and got this one, and I got back to my starting point. So now I have these images. So now instead of there being a couple minutes that it would have taken to put this full thing on my story, I can just get my final product ready, basically, add all the pictures, and then I went to this last one that I did, and then I added a poll on it. So it just was another way to do it. Just make sure that if you're adding the poll that you do it at the very end and not through, not through the saving it down. But I just think it's a really great way to add a little more pop to your story. So it's not just I had a lot of stuff to say here. If I would have tried to put all of that on one image, people wouldn't have read it and would have clicked. But by doing it this way, it kind of catches their attention a little bit more. And if they are going to read it, it gives them another opportunity to catch that information. Does that all make sense? I feel like it's a hard thing to explain in words. There are no questions, so I'm going to assume yes. All right, we'll go back into polls. This is something else that I've been doing. Shout out to Rachel Mitchell, because she was doing polls, and I was like, but I don't like to do polls because I don't want them to say no. And she's like, then you don't give them an option to say no. And I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. So I no longer give people, not necessarily no, but I don't give people an option to negatively respond to my polls. So And this one was another one where I did like the pop-up. So it said arguably, and then I said, I'm excited for Monday's launch party. Who meal preps on Saturday night? Because yes, this was a Saturday night and I was doing meal prep. And then I just asked, are you starting 80-day obsession Monday? Yes. Or what's 80 day? So I didn't say yes or no. Yes or what's 80 day? These people who clicked on what's 80 day, I can reach out to them and say, oh my gosh, this is this new fitness program that I'm going to be doing on Monday. Have you heard of it? Would you be interested in learning more? Whatever it is, that gives me a reason to reach out to them because they answered my poll. Obviously, the people who said yes, I look through those people. Most of them are probably my customers or fellow coaches, but there could be somebody in there that is starting it. They just have bought. They don't have a coach. Their coach quit. Their coach doesn't work the business anymore. So I look through these people. I do the same scour of their profile that, Sarah mentioned, are they a coach? Are they not? And I shoot them a message. Oh my gosh, saw you're starting 80-day obsession Monday. I can't wait. Did you do your meal plan calculation yet? And start a conversation. Obviously, you want to figure out, do they have a coach or not? You can say, are you working with your coach in an accountability group? If they say, no, I don't have a coach, I'm doing it on my own, bam, there goes a customer for you. So I found so many people on Instagram, they don't have coaches or their coaches have quit. Most of my 80-day obsession challengers that were new to me were not new to Beachbody. They were very familiar with Beachbody. Most of them love Autumn from 21 Day Fix, Fix Extreme, or Hammer and Chisel, or all of them. They couldn't wait to do her new program. But somewhere between 21 Day Fix in 2014 and the launch of 80-Day Obsession in 2018, 4 years later, their coach is no longer to be found. They didn't know the process of finding a new one, so they just did it on their own. And this was a huge way for me to really connect with other people and meet new and give them the support, because to me that was the best part about having a coach, was plugging into these groups. So keep that in mind, that a lot of the people that you're talking to, they might be doing the fitness programs. That doesn't mean they actually have a coach, but if you can find a way to start a conversation with them, you could open that door to be able to ask them about having a coach. The one on the other side, I actually realized I screenshotted it and it didn't show the two choices, but this is one where I put like yes with a whole bunch of S's, and I think option 2 was like the girl with her hand in the air or something. So again, I just don't like to give people an option to say no. That way I can reach out to them if they answer the poll and get more information. This was, oops. I can't see it on my thing, the way the presentation is. I can't see what my poll says. Oh, you know what? Look at that. See, let me go back. I have 2 images on this one. I was like, I can't see it. Now I can't edit. I don't know. I'm having technical difficulties. And I don't know what I'm doing. I think I saved it in Canvas. Now I can't edit it. Anyways, what this one says is, if you missed the launch party and now you're curious, would you like to learn more? And again, like yes, or what was a launch party? And I coordinate my blog posts with questions I'm using on my polls. That way, like I did one, and I think it might've been this next one on time nutrition. No, this wasn't it. I did another one that said something about time nutrition. And I said, would you like an example of my time nutrition meal plan? And I did, yes, please send it to me. And what is time nutrition? My blog post on time nutrition is actually a blog post on time nutrition that ends with my meal plan. So it's the same thing that I would send to anybody who would respond to my poll. But it got my blog out there. And I said to some of them, I'm working on a blog post, send me your email and I'll email it to you as soon as it's done. It allowed me to collect email addresses. So you can do so many different things with this. I apologize, I didn't screenshot that, right? And then this one here on the right, this one was just at the end of my workout. But so I did a series where I was showing the workout, and I was like, I can't wait for this program to start on Monday. And then I just said, would you join me in a free trial run? The people who said yes, and then I did yes and tell me more as the 2 options, that gave me people to reach out to talk to about Beachbody on Demand. And that they could try a little obsessed before the pay, they didn't have to enter any information and they could try it. So it's really just how you can create new people to talk to, and doing it a way that allows you to, this like using the polls in a way that doesn't really give a negative way that they can respond to you. And then this one was, if I created a grocery list to go along with my meal plan, would that be helpful? yes, please, and meal plan alone is sufficient. So my purpose was just to see, you know, would people want, are they interested in the meal plan aspect of it? Check out these questions. Anything there? All right, we're still good. Okay. And then close that. A few other things. A lot of the stuff that I've created more recently, I use Canva. You can use Canva. You can also, if you don't, you know, really work from a computer and you do a lot from your phone, the Pick, Play, Post app, it now has an Instagram story setting. I actually think Rona might have an Instagram story setting as well. So I try to work from my computer as much as possible. I am far more efficient on a computer than I am on my phone. But that being said, sometimes, you know, if you're more efficient on your phone, do what works for you. But these are two apps that I have found so helpful in putting my story together to where I can just throw it out there. If you look at my story right now, there is a little series where I did, like, I'm starting my round 2 of my challenge group. I did this last week at the end of week 2, where I did like a shout out. And Sarah actually did this first. And I was like, I love what you did. I'm going to go do this. So I like posted in my challenge group, asking my challengers to share with me like their successes from the week. And then I took whatever they told me and I put it into, you know, little pictures to show. Again, you can do this all from your phone. You don't have to do it in Canva. I just have found that putting it in Canva allows me to make it all done. And then I can just boom, 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 put the pictures out. But whenever we had, I know we're running here close to 10 o'clock, but when we were getting ready for the group, I had asked you guys all to do some sort of call to action post, whether it was for the coaching opportunity or for the for your next challenge group. But this is when you can go back to that poll, you know, and go back to whatever those people said to you and look to see who answered it. Some of them might be your current challengers. I'll be honest, anytime I do a poll, I'm the first person to respond to my poll because I can, and I always hit yes or whatever the answer is. But you can respond to your own poll. Just puts the more traffic on it. But I, you know, go back and look at those people who answered it. Like Sarah shared in the messages for the Hey Girls, I do the same thing to the people who respond to my polls. Anyone who answers a poll, anyone who's commenting on your pictures, liking your pictures, anyone who's looking through your stories, those are all people that open up a door to say, hey, can you help me? Like, that is what they do whenever they respond to you. So it's not I don't think that I can message them. Like, yes, you can, because they responded to you. And I think that's like the best part about Instagram is that it's like people are open to wanting to work with you. You know, Facebook is so much more private. It is, these are my friends and this isn't for you. And this is just my private life. Or on Instagram, like, you look for people to follow. So they're following you for a reason. Leverage that. They're watching your stories for a reason. Ask them why, and figure it out. And a lot of times I just get these simple, oh, you're just really inspiring. You know, I love watching your stuff. Okay, well, why? What do you love about it? Like, and if it's just a simple, like, most times you can get down to the meat of it. Are they on a journey or not? Do they want your help or not? And I think that's my favorite question to ask when I connect with a person. I said meat of it. I did. Whenever I connect with a new person, I will say, are you on a fitness journey? Because they're going to come back to you and either say, yes, I am. And you can ask them what they're doing. Or they're going to say, no, I'm not, but I should be. And that's when I get to tell them that's my job. My job is to help you get started on a fitness journey. So if you'd like to be, I can help walk you through that. And then you can take the conversation from there. When you send them the free trial run, you send them a free membership. Yeah. Like that's, I mean, like with a Little Obsessed and Clean Week, they just need a basic membership and they can access those workouts. Candace, I wish there was hands-on training for this. Honestly, just keep doing it. Like, to me, Instagram is fun. Like, learning the stories, looking at the videos, watching what other people do. I see somebody that I know that does something super cool with their stories, I should ask them, what did you do? How did you do that? You know, I didn't like discover that Canva had an Insta story link because I was going to go make a presentation in Canva. I saw someone do it and I'm like, how'd you make that? That looks great. They're like, Canva. I'm like, oh, okay. So I Googled what are the dimensions for Instagram stories. They're 1920 by 1080. I made a link and then I created it and I shared it. So, I think the biggest part is you just have to do it and try it and fail forward. And for your workout, do you record the whole thing and then add clips? I don't, because if I record it this way, I feel like with my Insta stories, I use my little timer remote for my tripod or my phone, and I just record like a couple moves. You could just record your whole video and, you can save down different clips and put them in that way. But I feel like you lose quality when you do it that way too. So when I do the videos, I will, at this point, I know the 80-day obsession workouts and there's workout sheets that I can look at. So like I talk to my husband in the morning. I'm like, okay, well, we need 3 videos today. So, today I went to do one. He's like, you videoed that like every week of this program. So you need to do a different move. So we just figure out 3 moves that we're going to video, and we video the 3 moves. And then I save them down, and then I might add music or add text to them or whatever. But I found that when I was trying to do them during my workout, I'd like miss a whole rep of sets trying to like put a video on. So now I record 3 sets and I just save them to my phone. When the workout's all over, I put them up on my stories.
Hey, I want to interrupt you real quick because you were talking about Canva. So Megan taught me how to use Canva. She did a Zoom call with me one day, and she showed me step by step how to do it and then how to airdrop from your computer to your phone, which was really helpful. But I've actually been using Canva on my phone and I really like it. And you don't even so it's not on the computer when you're on Canva, and I don't know why. With the dimensions, you have to put your own dimensions in for IG stories, but on your phone app on Canva, there's an IG story image that you can just put right up and then add everything that you want to create your stories. And it's nice because if you want to have like a certain theme, Sarah taught me that, if you want to have a certain theme, you can keep your background and then just save it and then save a copy. So then you can always go back in and add it. So like for my challengers, I have a certain theme and I don't have to remake it now. Like if I want to update my challenger's progress, I just go into my Canva, go to my theme that I already have, and then add the picture. So it's really nice to have that. It saves a lot of time. It's just taking the time initially to learn it.
Kate, someone asked, I can't see the name, but is there a way to change all the filters on your IG pictures at once? I don't think you can go back and change anything that's already there. I know you can change like your camera settings on your phone to be filtered so that any picture you take on your phone is filtered a certain way. I just pick there's 2 filters on IG that I'll use. And then otherwise I use one out of Words or whatever the app is called.
Snapseed.
Yeah. I use the same one all the time. I don't think you can go back and change anything.
No, you can't.
So a lot of it, honestly, when it comes, it's messaging. Like people will say to me, where did you get all those SC points from? Or where are those coming from? It's because all these things we talked about, that's what I've been doing for months now. I send, hey girls, like crazy. Like I just connect. I saw you watching my story. Like, what do you want? What can I do? And I can't tell you how many people will say to you, do you know how many, I follow hundreds, I follow thousands of people. You're the first person to ever message me. Because most people don't. Most people sit there and wait for other people to message them. If you can be that person that takes that action, you can totally make somebody's day who needs you, who wants to get started and is totally clueless on where to start. That is probably the biggest thing I found over the last couple months is that people are shocked when I message them back or when I just create a conversation. Like they saw me watching them or they saw me that they're watching and that. So, just take that time and connect with people and build the relationships. And I promise it'll compound. Like everything else, start now, the more you use the stories, the more your stories show up in your followers feed, the more that people see it, the more they click it. And it's just going to keep going that way. You just have to be consistent with it. We need to create that app. Ladies, we need to create that app. I don't know what that means.
What app?
It says in the comments, ladies,
we were talking about Canva when she posted
create
that
app. I don't know what that means. Any other questions? Oh, an app that changes all the filters. Yes, that would be fabulous. But start now. People don't scroll down that much anyways. If you're posting twice a day within a week, your top 12 pictures that will show up will be all the same. I've been doing my same filter for about a year, a little over a year. But if someone wants to scroll back a year, they'll see it. But if you just start now, it'll get there. Alrighty. Well, thanks for getting on, everybody. Who hit record?
Me.
Okay, so you're good. You'll record or you'll